I want to explain addiction in a way that makes sense, not moral, just what's happening in the brain when it uses drugs over time. The brain has a chemical messenger called dopamine. What dopamine does is say to the brain, pay attention. This matters because that's how the brain learns what to repeat. Drugs release a huge amount of dopamine, way more than food, sex, or success. So the brain flags this as more important than anything. Your brain doesn't know it's a drug. It just knows this changed everything. This matters. And your brain doesn't like extremes. When it's high on dopamine over and over, it stops releasing dopamine because it doesn't need that much. It knows that. And that's why people need more over time. Not because they want more, but because the brain has turned the volume down. So now when you remove the substance, it leaves the brain unbalanced. Dopamine is low and the stress chemicals are high. And that's why withdrawal feels like anxiety, stress, nausea, doom. Your nervous system can't handle it. Your brain is really good at remembering patterns. It links the drug to people, places, emotions, stress. Even without the drugs, those things can cause intense triggers. That's why cravings sometimes show up months or even years later. One thing the brain don't do is forget easy, baby, okay? It remembers the relief. And then in conjunction, the part of the brain that works with planning, impulse control, gets weaker over time. So you end up with strong urges, high stress, and almost little to no self-control. That's why addiction is insanity. It's knowing better and literally not being able to do better. Because the system that's supposed to stop the behavior is the system that's been worn down and isn't working correctly. Your brain healing from addiction takes time and stability. This means lower stress, consistent routine, sometimes medication, and support. These things help the brain rebalance. Recovery isn't a personality change. It's a biological repair. And if we would just explain addiction clearly, people would stop blaming themselves. Understanding does not excuse harm. It explains why shame never fixed it.